Hi, this is Summer with Summer's Tips and Stitches, and today I'm going to talk about two different patterns that I've worked on. The first one I'm going to talk about is this shawl. I wore it in my last video, and a lot of you were very impressed with it and really wanted to know where and how you could get one of your own. So the colorway is Spirit, and it is a mandala cake. And as you can see, it comes out into different points. The pattern is a free pattern on Ravelry called Ripple Wrap. Ripple is an R, and then obviously wrap with W. I thought I'd turn around so you can see the back. Trying to get Juanita in a better place. So this is essentially what it looks like. I came up with wanting to make a wrap like this after making my Christmas tree skirt. And it's a very simple, easy to follow pattern, all double crochet. And the thing that I like about it is it comes down in front like this. Now there's a lot of variations on this pattern where people have turned it into ponchos, buttoning it here, making these points come together over here and making sleeves. So when you type in Ripple Wrap, there are some varieties on here. I typically like to wear it like this, buttoned over, like I did in the video, but you can also just wrap up with it. And this was only maybe it was 2 cakes or 1.5, if I look at where the colors come out. And then I did do a single crochet border all the way around. I think if you made this a full 2 or a 3, it would be really nice and big and cuddly. So I will put a link in the description to the Ripple Wrap. Like I said, that was a Ravelry pattern. I made it quite a while ago, so I kind of forgot that you guys hadn't seen it or whatnot. So I'm sorry I did not speak more about it last time. So that's pattern number 1. The other pattern that I've got to find it. The other pattern that I wanted to talk about was kind of a spur of the moment pattern. I didn't plan on making these items. Initially, I wanted to make the cotton candy hat that Debbie, the Canadian Crocheter, said somebody designed. And she had put a link in her description, and I went and got that pattern. Cozy Cottage, maybe. Maybe it's another cozy, I think. I can put a link in the description to the cotton candy hat. But this is where I kind of get in a struggle, and which is why I bought the exact same yarn that Debbie made her sweater out of. Because that yarn was a merino. It was a more expensive quality wool, but it said it was a chunky yarn. So I came down to my stash and I grabbed a chunky and I started to make the hat with it, and it just, I tried to convince myself that it looked okay, but I could tell from my husband and my kids, it looked like a giant cupcake baker's hat. The yarn that I used just was not good. And what I had used to start making that hat was, getting that out over here, I saved the ball band, the chunky Karen cake. This yarn is too chunky to make the cotton, or to make the cotton candy hat. So after I'd already frogged out, because I finished the hat completely except for adding the pom-pom, I thought, what am I going to do with this chunky yarn? So I went to Ravelry and I typed in Karen Chunky Cakes. And one of the first patterns that came up was Spunky Chunky Basket Bag Crochet Pattern by Sarah Satch. This is a free pattern, but when you go click on it, it connects to her website or blog or vlog, whatever that is. So I then cut and pasted the pattern into a Word document, and it was very easy to follow, as you see right here, easy. It called for an 8mm hook. It uses that chunky cake. And then it has, you know, the basic stitches that most of us should know in the easy category. Chain, slip stitch, double crochet, back loop only, and then skip. So, and she actually has the pattern broken up to a small size, small and medium. So when you're crocheting along, both sides start together, and then she says if you're making a small basket, skip to this row, and if you're making a medium basket, keep going. So I will show you the first basket I made with this chunky cake. Here it is. I'm going to be honest, it's very floppy. So it's cute. The other thing is I made mine taller than the pattern called for. The pattern called for 8 rows and I wanted it taller. Because my thought was to stick, I don't know, a few of these skeins of yarn in them like this. I thought that'd be cute. In doing so, I made the count wrong for the handles. The handles did not line up. Maybe they did. I don't know. I feel like they're not exactly centered. Maybe I had an extra stitch. But this is what the basket bag looks like if you hold it like this. It's kind of cute, but it's definitely floppy. I like the colors. I like how they lined up. But this is something that you would just have to, it's just too floppy to serve as a basket. Unless you put something like this in, or rolled up hand towels, or maybe a few stuffed animals. Maybe you could make this kind of like a floppy Easter basket. I don't know. So anyway, because I wasn't necessarily impressed with the condition of how floppy that is, and it did not take a whole Karen chunky cake. I would think I could probably make a small basket with one chunky Karen cake. You could probably make a small one and a medium one. So when you put this stuff in there together, it does kind of stand up a little better. So I decided to make another one. And this time I did a few extra things here to kind of make it my own. First, I changed the pattern. Not enough to rewrite my own pattern. I followed the basic that she had. You know, I made a circle, X amount of rings around, went in the back loop to bring it up. But I learned a new stitch while doing the cotton candy hat, and that is the extended single crochet. So in this basket, if you can tell, I did, you can't see it at all really. Here are 2 rows of half double crochet, and then here's the extended. You can sort of see it. These are the half double crochet rows, these are the extended single crochet. These are half double extended crochet. So it kind of it kind of makes it look like it has added texture. Again, this is floppy. And this is made with 2 different strands of yarn. Cotton. I went for cotton yarn. And I did a much smaller hook. I used my eye hook. This one right over here. This cute pink one that Tara Lynn sent me. I used the eye hook, and I felt like using the eye hook would make the stitches nice and tight so that this basket would be able to, I don't know, stand up a little better on its own. I think what I'm going to end up doing is cutting a cardboard to go in here on the bottom to firm it up, I guess. But again, here is what this basket looks like. This is 2 strands of cotton yarn held together, used an eye hook, and I followed the basic idea of that, but I did half double crochet in extended single crochet, whereas this is all double crochet. Okay, so let's talk about the yarn. Now this yarn was sent to me by Michelle Townsend a certain amount of time ago. She sent me a bunch of cottons and said she wanted me to review them. So I actually am really happy that I decided to do this. The teal, or the lighter blue, was Lily's Sugars and Cream. And the darker blue that is in here is Bernat Handicraft Cotton. I'm going to see if I can find a section here. Nope, it looks essentially the same. The problem that I'm going to talk about with the cotton, you cannot really see in the manufacturing of the basket. So in the end, it doesn't end up being that big of a deal. You can't see that I had a problem, but I will tell you it did get a little annoying. So the problem was the Lily Sugar and Cream cotton kept breaking apart. And I don't want to say the word breaking. The yarn split and was unraveling. The Bernat cotton stayed nicely spun together, if you will. The strands did not split. So it was very easy to crochet with. Never did I have a problem when I was working with my hook with the dark blue, the Bernat cotton splitting. But I did have that happen with the Lily's Sugar and Cream. I was also going to check to see, okay, so this is true. When I was crocheting, I did not look, but the Bernat cotton had 5 ounces in it, and the Lily's only had 4. This basket also, like I said, is not necessarily the same number of rounds. Basically, I just went until I was running out of the Lily Sugar and Cream. And I even went as far as after doing the whole basket, when I got to the last round, I noticed that I was just almost out of the teal, the lighter color, and I still had quite a lot left of the blue, the darker. So starting right here, I held the dark blue in my hand and I crocheted around it with the teal, the lighter color, and I just did a row, another row on the top. And then when I got over here, I ran out of the lighter blue and I had to switch to the dark blue. And so, I mean, I don't think you really can tell that 95% of it around the border is in that lighter color and then just this part is darker. But yeah, I will say definitely working with 2 strands of cotton, the basket is a little stiffer, less floppy than with the chunky yarn. So if I were going to make these baskets again, or something similar, I would not use an acrylic chunky yarn. I would stick with making these type of things out of baskets or out of cotton. And I preferred working with the Bernat cotton over working with the Lily Sugar and Cream. Although I think both those colors look nice together. I don't know, it's just, I don't know how I feel about it. I've never made a basket before. This is my first time ever making them. And I guess personally, I feel like if I'm gonna, I don't know what to do to make it stronger. Because to me, these are like sort of useful. I could put tall skeins of yarn in it. I could probably put washcloths on it. I could probably arrange them with some stuffed animals in for decoration. But real usefulness, not really. I would almost have to use like that Bernat craft cording. Or I saw in a few videos when after making these, some people were crocheting around a stiffer string while making their baskets. I just don't feel like these are by no means useful. They're really not useful. I guess maybe you could hold that one like a purse. And you wouldn't need a lining with that one at all because it's so tight together. You could get away with just holding that one like a bag and not doing a lining. But anyway, I'm going to say the pattern was very easy to read. It made exactly what she was saying that it would make. I'll put a link in the description to her her website page, which I wrote on this note paper here to tell you. It's called Posh Pooch Designs. Posh Pooch Designs. And her name is Sarah. And she looks like she's a super fun gal. She's got all these goofy pictures. She makes a super cute hat that has like curlers in it for like a costume. I mean, her site, she's got a bunch of great free patterns. And I'm by no means talking down her pattern. Her pattern was very easy to follow, very easy to understand. It made exactly what her picture was. It's just, to me, I'm not a fan of the floppy baskets. I'm not sure what to do with them. Maybe you could use them as a gift basket, something, I don't know. So check her out. Again, I'll put a link in the description to her website. She has some other really fun patterns on there, and she just seems like a real fun gal. You'll see when you head on over to check her out. The final thing that I wanted to talk about in this video if I can, oh, second to last thing. I am on Ravelry. I don't use it to the full extent. Basically, I use it to search out patterns. I save my favorites, and I don't really, I at one point started to post a project I made, and I just really haven't, because I think I make so many projects that I don't want to be held up having to enter all that in. And usually when I'm doing a pattern, what I do for my own personal records, which, you know, is outdated, we've discussed this before, is I usually jot notes on the printed pattern. I stick the pattern in a sleeve, and then I tuck them in a binder. And then when I want that pattern again, I go to like Amigurumi, open it up, find the pattern that I want, I see my notes, I know what I've done. Ravelry essentially is a computerized or an electronic version of that. You store your patterns in there, you can put notes and information in there and what you changed to that pattern, how you changed it, and then you can take a picture and upload that picture to, and that way other people can see what you're working on. And I'm just not there yet, friends. But anyway, if you want to check me out, I don't have too much on my profile. It's Summer Lynn, all one, capital SUMMERLINN 1979. That's my username. And basically what I do is I just save the patterns that I'm looking to buy and all that kind of stuff. Really. I did join a crochet along that I've mentioned before and many others have, that Karen and Debbie have, and it has like some kind of a group or something there. And to be honest, I'm not really quite sure how to navigate through that. I see that someone has left me a message, and I'm not sure how to check it. I just have this notification, and when I click on it, this other page pops up, and I'm not seeing where my message is. But, you know, I'm kind of in a hurry. I'm not sitting down to really look at it. I'm just like, where's that message? And then, of course, one of my kids needs something, and so I get up and I go, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, that's the second thing. You want to find me on Ravelry. Ravelry is Summerlin 1979. And make sure it's L-I-N-N. It's not L-Y. You won't find me then. Okay, so now here's the last thing. If you all remember my last video, I shared some books that one of my yarn friends who watches these videos had sent me. Her name is Vesta, and she was very kind to send me some really awesome books. I'm pretty excited to try a few patterns. And I had mentioned, or she'd mentioned to me, she'd been trying to sell these for a while, either on eBay or some sort of selling site. And I accepted her as or we were emailing through Gmail, and then I accepted her as a Facebook friend. And she showed me all these things that she's selling. So apparently she's in the process of moving. And folks, she's got a lot that she is trying to whittle down. As, you know, as many of us probably have. I mean, if I had to move right now, who knows what I would do with all this. So, I don't have a link to her eBay, because somebody else in one of that in that video commented and said, hey, do you have a link to her Etsy or eBay shop? And I don't. But what I do have, and what she said was okay for me to let you know, I do have her email address. So she can send you photos, or you can email her, she can email you, and then she can sell you photos of all the things that she's selling. She is selling a significant amount of pattern books, and some of them, oh my gosh, wonderful. She's also selling a significant amount of yarn. And also, the other reason I thought I'd mention this, if you remember a while back when I got my interchangeable hook set, I didn't check very well, unfortunately, and did not notice that the guy that I bought my hook set from was discontinuing them. And a few of you had wanted to purchase them. Well, Vesta is selling hers, and it is the same as mine. She has a lighter wood handle, but she has one of those sets, so she wants to sell that. So if you were one of the people that wanted to get that interchangeable hook set, again, check the description for Vesta's email. Also, she's selling, and it's spelled a little differently, a symphony hook set. I want to spell her Symphony. It's S-Y-M-F-O-N-E, and I looked it up, and it's an all-wood hook set. She sent me a picture of it, too. And that set I looked up online sells for over $100. And so she would like to sell one of those. So if you are interested in a beautiful interchangeable hook set or a beautiful wood crochet hook set, or if you were interested in any kind of patterns and you want to contact her, I will put her email in the description below, vestahagan@hotmail.com, and she is very interested in offloading, or she can get you a link to where she's listing this stuff. I don't plan on doing that for everybody all the time, but she's a real fun gal, and she also sent me all these books. And I do remember a few of you were interested in those hook sets, so I said, sure, I'll let everyone know. You know, and so I just thought I'd help her out. I'm in a good mood today. So, yeah, that's what I've got for my video, friends. This, again, is the Ripple Wrap shawl. It is on Ravelry. It's a free pattern. This is on Ravelry, these baskets right here, but they, it links back to her personal website, which is, these are the Spunky Chunky basket bags. I'll put a link to the Ravelry site, and then I'll put a link to Sarah's Posh, her Pooch Posh Pooch Designs. Yeah, and then I'll also, just for the heck of it, I'll put a link or something about my Ravelry. I don't know if you put a link to Ravelry. And then I'll put something about, because I'm on Instagram too, or I'm on Instagram also. So there's quite a few of you that I chat with on Instagram that I can do that too. So yeah, that's what I got for my pattern, my video. My next video, I am going to do a tutorial on how to line a crochet bag. This is the crochet bag that I have, that I made. And I am going to line it for you guys in the video. I'm not quite sure how it will work. I might, because I want to use my new camera on that, and so I'm going to need my husband's help for editing, because I want to try to record everything I'm doing so that we don't have breaks in the video, and that there is also, he could maybe put some words up right now, you know, because I just want you to understand that I am by no means a sewing professional. I've taken no sewing classes. Nobody has taught me anything. All I do is remember what I saw my mom do, and I do it on the sewing machine. My lines aren't straight. I don't know the perfect geometry of how to lay it out. And so you'll see what I do, and you know, it's kind of like, I don't know how to say this without saying a sassy word. I don't, but I kind of like, half this, if you know what I mean. I don't know if that's a word I can say on YouTube. I don't know the rules. But I just kind of fake it. There you go. I just fake it. I lay this down on a piece of fabric. I trace out my shape. And so I'm going to do that for you. It's by no means, you know, perfection. And, yeah, you'll just get to see. If you like what I'm doing and that helps you figure it out, great. If you don't like what I'm doing and you are a better sewer, please, you can type tips in there, but like I said before, sewing is by no means any kind of an interest. It's more of a tool that I use, and right now I'm so obsessed with crochet that I tend to just barely do any sewing if I care. Maybe someday I'll take it up and I'll be a sewing fool, but right now I'm a crocheting fool. But yeah, this is the bag that I will make a lining for. I think I'm going to try to do it Wednesday so that my husband has time to edit and work on the video, because it takes a lot more work to put a video up with the fancy camera than it does with my phone camera. And then I've got my live chat on the 22nd. On the 22nd at 7:30 p.m. Wisconsin, United States of America time. How that figures into your time changes, I don't know. You know, I'll be on here trying to chat with you all, maybe crocheting while I chat. I can talk about, you know, what's going on in Wisconsin. But that's it, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Until then, happy crafting. Bye.